Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Neil, and I've got a returning guest, Blake. Blake, for those
What's
of you
up?
guys who
What's
know,
up?
yes, the guy who lost 77 pounds. If you guys have not seen that video, I'll link it down in the description so you can see our first interview. But I've got Blake back because I think we've got a really exciting topic that I think a lot of people can find some value from. Today, we're going to discuss three different topics. We're going to discuss cheat meals, cheat days, and binge eating and how it's affected both of our fitness lives. Because I think we've got some good stories, and Blake's actually got a really interesting story about binge eating that I have not even heard yet. So I think stick around till the end because I think it's going to be a pretty cool story. I'm really excited
Yes,
to hear that. But
yes, definitely want to
Blake,
hear it.
yeah, Blake, for those who have not watched, Blake, why don't you introduce yourself again real quick?
So, my name is Blake Akery, good friends with Neil. I met him at Anytime Fitness downtown. He grew up with a bunch of my friends at Iowa State, who I've known through middle school, high school. And Neil was close friends with them. So I kind of recognized him at Anytime, and we became really close friends. Obviously, we share the same kind of passion in terms of like dieting, lifestyle, fitness. So we've been really close in that aspect. And now he's obviously a trader, and he moved to Austin, Texas, living his big dream out there. But I miss him a lot. We still keep touching base and stuff. And like our goal is just to keep everyone healthy and happy. Like this whole lifestyle of fitness and stuff, it's a long-term thing. Like everybody wants quick results and the fastest thing. Like, how can I lose fat this quickly? And it's like, it doesn't work like that. It's a long-term process. And Neil and I just kind of want to touch base and give people like the real facts and like the no BS stuff. So people understand like it's a journey. It's not like a quick 30-page book. It's a long Harry Potter type book. Like it takes a while to read and it's a process, but we're here to kind of help people out and just kind of get them going on their fitness journey and to whatever they need. So
Good, good, good. Yeah, exactly, guys. Healthy is not just one simple thing like losing weight. Yes, that's what we want to achieve. We want to lose weight, but it's a big process, a big change that needs to happen. And so we're here to simplify it for you. And so let's get started on topic one, and that is cheat meals. And we're going to start actually. I'm going to share my experience with cheat meals and how it's kind of changed throughout time. So, the first time I ever started using cheat meals was when I was on the paleo diet. This was right after freshman year because I gained the freshman 15. So I was like, I need to drop some weight before sophomore year. So I went on the paleo diet. I lost a good amount of weight. I think I lost like 12 pounds, but that also included gaining some muscle. So I looked pretty good going into sophomore year, I must admit. But I'll always have a cheat meal at the end of the week. And that would be whatever it was, a pizza or something like that. Ultimately, it was not sustainable. And I think now, here we are, how many years later? It's like 5 years later. Bro, I'm so old. Here we are 5 years later. And Blake and I were talking, and we actually do not agree with the idea of naming it a cheat meal because cheating just does not sound right in our vocabulary when we cheat. It's not a cheat meal, guys. If you're doing everything right, if you're staying diligent with your nutrition, you're getting in your vitamins, your minerals, keeping up on your macros, like if you're doing all this, then you deserve to have a fun meal. And so I like to call this a fun meal. And I think Blake also agrees. So recently, I've never really craved any fun meals because I know that I can have it whenever. And so there's no like pressure going into one like, oh, I cannot wait for my cheat meal. I can't wait
yeah,
for that. It's just like, okay, if it happens, it happens. But I know at the end of the day, I still need to get my vitamins, my nutrients, and my macros need to hit. And so ever since I've stopped looking at it as a cheat meal, my nutrition has gotten so much better. And it's just that little mindset change. It's not a cheat meal. It's just a little bit of fun because you deserve it if you're being diligent with everything else. Blake, why don't you share your story with that?
yeah, absolutely. So when I was dieting and stuff, you would hear about like the cheat meals, like you're obviously dieting pretty hard, you're trying to lose weight. And so you obviously would see it as like a rewarding yourself kind of thing. So obviously you eat a certain amount of calories per day to lose weight. So if your maintenance is 2,000 calories and you need to eat 1,500 calories to lose weight, you obviously you're gonna be in a deficit for a while, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be like, dang, I kind of really want that burger and fries or something like that. And as we kind of talked about, cheat like meal is like it just doesn't sound right. And I kind of like the idea of like the fun meal, but for like me, when I was really losing weight and stuff, I would like set certain like days, usually like the weekends and stuff, like a Saturday night, like, ooh, I'm gonna go to Buffalo Wild Wings and get like the medium wings, like a medium sized wings. And it'd be like 20 wings later. But then like after that, I would be like good. I wouldn't like go crazy and binge after that. So one of my biggest tips and stuff in terms of like fun meals is like, if you, let's say you have your week planned out Monday through Sunday and you know you're going out to eat with like your family or something on Saturday, just like kind of prepare a couple of days in advance, like maybe go on an extra walk or two, just even a little extra cardio, even like before the meal, or like if you're going to go to the gym, just maybe do like a little like extra workout just while you're there. Like you don't need to do a ton of extra stuff. You don't need to change your diet a ton. Just enjoy it. And as you said, as long as you're consistent, 80% of the time, 90% of the time, you're going to be more than fine with that one little meal. That is not going to deter everything that you've worked your ass off for. Like one good meal ain't going to make you lose weight. That sounded really not professional. One meal is not going to make you lose weight, and one bad meal is not going to make you gain weight, you know? And as I talked about last week with like the Tom Brady analogy, like let's say you're a quarterback and you throw 21 passes. So you have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. You're eating 3 meals a day. If you eat 19 out of 21 meals really clean and healthy, and then you have like those 2 like fun meals, you're going to be fine. Like, but maybe if you had like 19 out of 21 fun meals, you're going to be in some danger. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like being consistent, and then obviously like rewarding yourself in a sense, I guess you could say. Like you are working really hard and stuff, but you do want to you want to treat yourself. Like you can't not go out and not eat with like friends and family and stuff just because you're losing weight. Like that's just not sustainable, because the one time where you just had enough of it, you're going to binge, and that's when it gets really, really bad.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree. And when you do adopt like whole nutritional nutrition, you'll be surprised, guys, if you're watching. If you're not eating whole foods like that have the nutrients, you'll be surprised, because that is actually, sorry, something in my eye. That's what's going to start the cravings. But if you're eating whole foods that, satisfy you, you're going to be surprised just how much you don't even crave it. That being said, let's move on to cheat days. I'll start with my story on cheat days. So I think this was either my junior or senior year in college, where I was super diligent with the gym. I'd go like almost every single day. And then on Sundays, I would literally I would go to Aldi and I'd stock up on so many treats, like, oh my God, like little Debbie cakes.
Yeah.
Bro, I get a pizza. Like I mean, it was a lot. And ultimately what happened to me is that instead of just enjoying the journey of becoming healthy, it got to a point where I was like, I couldn't wait until my cheat day. And so every week I was just like, can't wait for my cheat day. Can't wait for that cheat day. I'm a little bit closer. That's the wrong kind of focus though, because you're taking your eye off what you're actually doing this for. You're not doing it for the cheat days. You're doing it because you want to be healthy. And so that was and that's why it was not sustainable for me. Ultimately, I could only do like 3 or 4 of those before I was just like, dude, everything's just out of whack, and I don't even feel good when I do. And so that's kind of my story with cheat days. It was bad. It was bad, and it would just seep in to possible binge eating, which we will discuss later. But I'm gonna hand it off to Blake and ask about his cheat day experience.
So going back to your like cheat days, and especially like after you'd get on that cheat day, you'd want to eat like super healthy, and you would eat like no food for like a couple days. But then guess what? That 3rd or 4th day is going to come around and you really haven't like ate much food. You're probably going to do the same thing. You're going to want like another cheat day, and me and Neil were talking about cheat days are like not ideal. Like we highly recommend not doing cheat days like at all. Obviously, I don't know how many people here watch YouTube videos, but like the 10-calorie challenge, like 10,000 calorie cheat days and stuff like that, like those are not good for you. Like, especially those people doing those kind of challenges are like working out literally the entire day. They're doing cardio, fitness, like literally up to the week just for those kind of meals, like eating in severe calorie deficits. And that's like what we don't want. We want sustainability and long-term lifestyle of like eating good and like the balance of like good foods and like fun meals, and like whole foods is a huge prime example. But for me, when I was really strict on my diet, I mean, like we're talking like chicken, broccoli, sweet potato, or like switching up the proteins, the greens, or like a veggie. Like, I mean, I was strict. And then like every Sunday, every now and then, maybe like once a month, I'd be like, ooh, it's Hertz Donuts time. So I'd go to Hertz Donuts and I would get probably, well, between like my family and I, we'd get like 12, but I would have like 3 donuts and I would be feeling it after that. I'd be like, oh my God, like I literally feel like I could run through a wall with the sugar high. But then after that, like lunchtime would come around and I'd be like, ooh, like a burger and something sounds really good, or like a pizza. And then I'd have that. And then later it would just be like, well, man, something else sounds really good. Or even like I am really bad with sweets. Like sweet tooth is like my worst thing. So like brownie, cookies, and then like ice cream. Ice cream's probably like my number one like danger zone. Like I get a good taste of ice cream, I'm in trouble, bro. But yeah, cheat days, they're just not sustainable. And you're going to feel like absolute, just straight up shit after those. Like you're eating so many more calories than what your body is used to. And your whole system's just going to be out of whack. Like what just happened? Like your body's confused. You don't feel good. It's just not good. How about instead of the cheat day, we do maybe a couple fun meals, as we talked about, like Monday, if you want to go get a Blaze pizza. And me and Neil talked about like healthy alternatives for like cheat meals and stuff like that. You got your like Chipotle, your Chick-fil-A's, your Blaze pizza. I think me and you both love Blaze pizza, because another big tip I would say too is you want like the individual size of what you want. So when I go to Blaze pizza, it's like the one pizza and I can eat it all and that's it. But like if you went to like Casey's Pizza and you got a large pizza, you're gonna have like your 4 or 5 slices. You're gonna put it in the fridge. You're gonna wake up the next day. You're gonna be like, shit, I still got like 6 slices left. And guess what you're gonna do? You're probably gonna eat those slices. So that would be my tip: is if you are gonna do like your fun meal or whatnot, try to like keep it to one.
Downsize.
You know what I'm saying? So like ice cream, for example, like they do have like healthy alternatives like your Halo Tops, your Overjoys. Just get like 1 pint of ice cream and you can even eat 2 of them and it's only going to be like 600, 700 calories instead of like your Ben and Jerry's, which is like loaded with like calories, thousands of calories. It's like, dang, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like stick with like the lower calorie alternatives and for like cheat fun meals, I guess you can say, but cheat days, I would not recommend, because you're going to dig yourself in a hole and it's going to get deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't understand, like, it's not solely a calories in, calories out, at least in my perspective, because there's so many other factors that you need to think about. You need to think about your genetics. People don't think it's important. I do think genetics make a huge role on whether it's easy or more difficult for you to lose weight. I also have to think your cortisol levels, your hormones, that plays a huge role in your metabolism. It's so many other things. And so it's the fact that these cheat days just throw your hormones out of balance. And so that's why it's like when you have a cheat day, I mean, your cortisol levels from sugar increases, and then you feel more stressed because of that. And so what is the quickest way to get energy when you're stressed? It's consuming more sugar. And so that's kind of leads into binge eating. And this is where this is our last section of binge eating and how this is a problem, because I have my experiences with that. And Blake's got like I said, guys, this is it. This is the story that we've been waiting for. Blake, why don't you tell the people about this binge eating story that you have?
So only like a few people like know of this story. So this was during the Super Bowl game. This was like when the Nick Foles, what was that play called? It was the like
Philly special?
The Philly special. Yeah. So it's them versus New England. So this one I was like dieting, like I was strict on my stuff. So it was like probably after Christmas. Like obviously I enjoyed myself during Christmas Eve, the holidays. That's all good. So it was like January and I was like, okay, we're going to get back on it. This one I was like weighing like 180. So I was skinny. And so kind of leading up to January, I was like, well, what's kind of coming up? And I was like, ooh, Super Bowl. And when you think Super Bowl, you think like nachos, wings, pizza, desserts. You're going to eat good on Super Bowl. So I was like prepping myself for that. And I was like strict. So the day finally came for the Super Bowl. And I was like, oh, it's game time. It's time to go hard. So that day I ate pretty clean in the morning and stuff because I was saving up for the Super Bowl. But we ended up going to my buddy's house and we got 2 large pizza from Casey's. We got like the meat lovers and the taco pizza. And bro, these were like slices. Like these weren't no like small slices. They were huge slices. And then my mom, we made this, I don't know if my buddy made it or not. It's like this black eyed pea dip, but it's like famous. We used to bring it to like Iowa State tailgates and stuff, but we had that. We had like scotcheroos. My mom made some scotcheroos, which are absolute fire. You already know how scotcheroos are. Or what is it? What's another word for them? Or is it scotcheroos? Or some people call them, we call them like special K bars, but I just call them scotcheroos.
Yeah, in Minnesota, I know they're called like special K bars. I was like, what is it? But it's a scotcheroo. Yeah.
So we were finally like there at like my buddy's place getting ready for the game. And I was just going ham on like the dip, the chips and dip. And then we also got some wings because it was like kind of a deal through Casey. So I had like 7 buffalo like wings, barbecue wings. I had 7 slices of pizza, 7. And they were like not small slices, like they're large pizza and they were like big slices. And then after that, I had like, I think 6 or 7 scotcheroos, which were like pretty good size. And then, dude, I felt like I was going to explode. So then after that, the game was over and stuff. I was like, oh man, I got to keep going. So then I wanted to go to Orange Leaf or like, you know, like Menchie's, like the frozen, like soft serve, not soft serve, but like the frozen yogurt kind of place. A little bit. You know what I'm talking about? Like the Menchie's or
I don't.
Orange Leaf. It's okay. It's like you like create your own ice cream and stuff, and like you put your own toppings in
So
it.
ice cream?
Like that.
I mean,
yeah. No, so
yeah.
you're good. So I went there and thank God they were closed because I was already like feeling like death, but my brain was just like, keep eating because I was so strict on myself. So I went there, they were closed. So I ended up going home and I still wanted ice cream. As I talked about, ice cream's like that's my kryptonite. So then I opened the freezer up and there it is some chocolate chip ice cream. And I said, oh crap, here we go. So I start scooping it up like 5 or 6 scoops later. And then I went into my dining room and of course it's Girl Scout cookie season. So I was like, oh no. So then I started getting some like Thin Mints, the Samoas, like all the cookies, bro. And I just started like crumpling them up, putting them on the ice cream, bro, just like a big ass bowl of ice cream and Girl Scout cookies. And at this point already, I already look like, dude, I'm like bloated. Like it was stupidity bloated. So then I had like 3 or 4 bites and I'm just like, after one of the bites, I was just like, this isn't good. So then I was like, I'm pretty sure if I took it one more bite, I would have thrown up. So then I ended up going into my bed and I laid there for 2 hours, just not doing anything because my stomach hurt so bad. Dude, even if I drink water, my stomach was like, don't, please stop. I can't take any more. So I will like never forget that story. And dude, it was not good. It was like it was pizza. And that's what happens when you're so strict on your diet is you're going to have those binge episodes or cheat days, cheat meals or fun meals. It's all about sustainability and long term. If you feel like you need to binge on your diet isn't sustainable for the long term. And as I talked about like pizza and stuff, instead of getting like the Casey's pizza, like the Godfather's, get like a Blaze pizza and get some of the healthy alternatives like the chicken. You can get the ham. Like I make my pizza pretty healthy and it's only like 720 calories or something around that, give or take like maybe 750. But for like a good sized pizza and with like multiple veggies and all that kind of stuff, like you're doing yourself a lot more good than getting a bunch of like grease and cheese and stuff. And your body's just like, whoa, this is too much. But yeah, that's my binge story. It was quite the episode. And I haven't had anything like that ever again. Like I will never forget how bad that was. And people hear that, they're like, you did that? And I was like, yeah, it happened to me. Someone who lost 78 pounds, like it happens. It's hard. And I mean, it's more mental than physical, I would say. Like my brain was like, eat. And I just like couldn't help myself. It was bad.
And that's how the industry gets us, guys. That is straight up the story that y'all need to know, because this is not a coincidence. This is literally why companies out there make the food that they make. Because one, it hits that bliss point where you just cannot stop eating. And so your brain just becomes gets overridden by all these chemicals from the food. It's insane to see it actually take fruition. So like that experience right there, Blake, that you feel like shit afterwards.
It was not good.
That was literally planned by the food industry. It's so crazy to even think that. But guys, that's what they want you to do. They want you to keep eating. Yeah. That's how they make money. And so I hope that I think that kind of wraps up everything. Like Blake was saying, guys, sustainability. If you're always craving a cheat or fun meal all the time, you're not on the right plan. You always need to feel out what it is that your body responds best to, that gives you natural energy, so that you don't crave that quick energy that a lot of those sugary, high carbohydrate meals will give you. Okay. And so, gosh, what else? What else can we say? Real quick, right before we end the video, quick tip for everyone out there. So, Blake, why don't you give a quick tip for everyone to leave with?
My probably quick tip would be, how are you going to get back on track after you do have like a fun meal? Or let's say you did have kind of like a bad day where you did eat a lot of crap. What are you going to do after that? Are you going to get back on track? Or are you going to make an excuse saying, oh, well, yesterday was so bad, maybe I'll just eat like crap the rest of the week? It's like, that's the make or break point, is the day after or after your meal. You have to lock back in to where you want to be. So when I know I'm having like my meal at Blaze Pizza or Angry Goldfish or one of my favorite restaurants in Des Moines, I'm getting back on track afterwards. It's not, oh, well, I had this, maybe I should eat like the cookies and the ice cream, because then you're just setting yourself up for failure. Always have a game plan, whether you know you're going to go out to eat or it just happens naturally. What are you going to do after that? That is probably my biggest tip. You have to be ready. You have to be mentally ready, saying, I'm going to be back on track as soon as I'm done with this meal.
Game plan. That's perfect. That's perfect. And so mine's going to kind of tailor in with that as well. I think people, when they start a journey, I don't feel like they are 100% committed. And so my quick tip for anyone who's watching this is to find a real why to why you are starting this. If it's only because you want to look good in the mirror, that's great. That's awesome. That should always be a goal. However, I just don't believe that that's a big enough why. There has to be something. For me, one thing, I practice what I preach on this channel. I want to help and give value to so many people who watch these videos. And if I'm someone who's like not following what I'm saying, then what does that say about me? Yeah. And so it's more about like my own self-dignity, that I stay consistent with my stuff. And that's a big enough why for me. Some people may be like, well, that's stupid. But for me, you know, having my viewers look at me and be like, okay, Neil knows what he's talking about. Like that means a lot, because I do like to research this stuff. I do like to implement it. And so find your why to getting into this new fitness, because it's not just eating right and like exercising. It's a big revolution that you need to take. You got to get your sleep right. You got to get new daily habits in. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So I think that pretty much wraps up the video.
Yeah, that's good stuff, baby.
Yeah, dude. So thank you guys for watching. If you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. If you guys like this interview, go ahead and hit that like button. We'll definitely have Blake on for another really cool set of topics. So make sure you guys stay tuned, hit that notification bell. All right. Catch y'all later.
Catch y'all later.